So I'm here to review another tarot deck with you because apparently I cannot control myself. This one is called the Light Seer's Tarot. It's by Chris and Donnelly. And I was just kind of looking around. I honestly didn't intend on buying another tarot deck, but you guys know how that goes. Sometimes you just can't help yourself. But this one I really loved. I love just kind of the colors. I love the overall feel and vibe of it. So if this was one that you're interested in and you have been looking at, I wanted to kind of take this apart a little bit today. Because sometimes too, when you're looking at stuff, it's really hard to see what's actually going on. Sometimes you just get an image of the box and a couple of things on the product, and it's hard to get a comprehensive view of it. If you read tarot, you want to know like how it feels. You want to see all the images of the cards. You like really want to get in there and see what this deck is about. So. Oh, this is very cool. Okay. Oh, okay. So it's got this really cool little quote on the inside here. And I think that's a really nice touch. Also, too, you know what I really like? I like that this deck and the other deck that I just got, the boxes are really sturdy, right? And I think with some of the regular cards that you get this flimsy little collapsible like box that you would get with like a regular deck of playing cards. And it's just packaging, you know what I mean? But this is kind of nice too, because I know a lot more people are storing their cards in actual boxes these days, as opposed to tarot bags and other things. So if you don't want to buy a separate box, I think this is a really nice option that they've provided with this deck for you. Okay, so it looks like we've got here, ooh, yeah, okay. All right, so, ooh, I'm excited already. I did good. Okay, so first of all, let's just take a quick look at the book. So it's going to come with a little book. Most of these do. This one's nice. It's really thick. Some of them you get like a flimsy little like this, and there's only like a couple of meanings. So let me kind of take a look here. Okay, so what it looks like we've got a picture of the card. We've got a little bit of the meaning, a little bit of paragraph, and then you know what this is cool. They do it for all of them. Okay, cool. So you've got the picture of the card, the name, and the description. The thing that's really cool here, there's like a little quote or a little mantra, and I just checked a couple. It's with every single card. So technically, really, this is kind of like a tarot card deck, but it's also an oracle deck sort of as well, because oracle decks usually have like an affirmation or a message, and this particular individual has done this as well with the tarot. So it's kind of cool. I mean, you can always make that up with the tarot if that's, if you're looking at a card and you want to create something out of that. But this book actually does it for you. So it's kind of a nice little double bonus. So super liking this deck already. So one of the first things I saw when I kind of pulled this out was I saw the back of the card, which I really, really dig. This design just makes me happy. I don't know why, it just does. I really love it. It's just simple, but it's really kind of cool. Okay. Yes, okay, I've seen this card before. I like this one. Okay, cool. Yeah, these cards are actually really nice. Like one of the other decks I reviewed, the cool thing is these do bleed to the edges, which for some weird reason, it's just an aesthetic I like, whether I'm using something, to post or something I just really like just to be working with and reading cards for my clients. It's just a particular preference that I have that I like. The cool thing about these cards too that's really neat is they're very modern, they're very updated. They fit the modern world a little bit better than the traditional Rider-Waite, which is, one of my favorite decks. I love anything like Rider-Waite. I have a lot of variations of it. But as I'm looking at this one, I really love all the colors, that are going on in here. I love the artwork. I mean, like, look at that. That's beautiful. Oh yeah, and then look here too, Judgment. Look, I love the color scheme on this one. It's gorgeous. So far I'm really liking these cards. I kind of like too, there's a lot of handwriting incorporated with this too. It's not all super old-fashioned, old school. As you can see here too, look at the World card. It's handwritten on the bottom, right? And it's a little bit different than what we're used to in some more traditional decks. I like this one too, because like culturally, it looks like it's a more inclusive deck, which is kind of a nice change and a nice vibe to everything. Because I think sometimes that makes certain people feel excluded, or it makes them feel like they can't use the deck, or they don't kind of attach to it or vibe to it the same way. So I really like that sort of kind of vibe and texture of this deck. There's a lot of really great cards in here, you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these at a different angle, and I'm going to show you what all of these cards look like. So if you think this is a deck that you might be interested in, that you can kind of see what you're getting into before you purchase it. So I want to take a look at these cards from the Light Seers Tarot one by one, because I think they're really, really interesting. And I like kind of how they've played off of the original artwork from the Rider-Waite deck, but just tweaked it to make it a more like modern spin-off of that. So let me take this little book out of the way here and we'll see what we've got. So this is the Fool, right? And I love how they have this little the handwriting on the bottom of the cards. I think it just gives it a little extra something and makes it, I guess, kind of like less official too, you know? I really like how contemporary these cards are. I feel like they're just very free-spirited, and they have this kind of like really interesting like boho kind of feel to them that I really, really like. And they just, I don't know, they just feel a little bit more like they resonate with what's going on right now and just more modern times. I'm still a stickler for, you know, a good old-fashioned Rider-Waite deck, but I like upgrades and I like variations and I like, you know, things that are new. And as you can see when you look at these, some of the images are similar, but you know, like Justice, like how cool is this card? I just like kind of when you can update things and make them a little more, I guess when they just resonate for more people, right? Because not everyone resonates with the traditional images anymore. Things have changed a lot, and I really like what this artist has done with everything here. You know, I really like the colors. Oh, this has got to be like one of my favorite ones here, the Star so far. Okay, well maybe not. I love the Moon too. I love them all. You know, the only thing I will say about these is while the images are really, really beautiful, you know, I think, okay, just want to make sure I didn't pick up two cards there. I think some of it too, if you are new, some of these cards are really easy to relate or overlay kind of to the old deck, but some of them might be a little bit difficult in terms of, I think, some of the little detail work in certain areas and certain places. But, you know, you have to pick the deck that really feels right for you and resonates best with you. You know, this one's really cool, but it's super simple. And is this something that, you know, if this comes up in a reading for you, how much detail do you think you can get off of that card? I think sometimes when you're new, the details on the cards are really what I like for people because it makes it easier to pick up the energy of the card, right? And so reading isn't as difficult. So I would say so far what I'm looking at with these cards, it's kind of like 50-50, you know, like some of them look like you could get enough detail and some of them, maybe if you didn't know all of your symbols and your terms and everything in there, you might not be able to pick as much up. So if you like this deck and you're really digging it, which I'm really digging it, but I also have some more experience with tarot. I've been doing this for over a decade, so for me this might be easier. If you're looking at this deck as a beginner deck, you know, you can also look at other types of symbolism in order to really help you with some of these cards. You know, there's a lot of different images in spirituality, in paganism, in witchcraft. You can look at numerology, will help you also. There's astrology is a really great one to look into too. So kind of studying those fields also will help you a little bit with the cards because all of those things do relate to every single card. So if you're feeling like you like this deck and you might need a little bit more, you can add and incorporate those things as well if you think that would be helpful for you. Oh, this is super cool. Look at that. Yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Wow, these swords. Now the swords are traditionally a deck where they kind of have a lot of really heavy, intense emotions. And I can tell as I'm flipping through this suit of cards here that when I'm looking at these images, they're very powerful and they're hitting me and I'm really like feeling what I'm looking at very intensely. So I'm really thinking that's an interesting take on here, even because some of the symbols aren't exact from a more traditional deck, but it's still conveying the proper amount of emotion in all the right places, which is really interesting and also really well done. Okay, here, getting close to the end. I know it's a lot of cards, you guys, hanging in there good. Okay, Pentacles. Yeah, see this one's, I mean, look at how they did this. Interesting. The other one has a man and he's juggling two pentacles, but she's, you know, this is what she's got. One of them's like actually her purse. It's her freaking purse. I love this. I love how they've incorporated it in such a different, interesting way. I'm excited to try to read these cards and see how easy or difficult they are, how much of an adjustment I have to make for these new images, which sometimes can happen at first. So if you are reading a newer deck and you feel like you're struggling a little bit, don't give up. It does just take a little bit of time sometimes to readjust what you already know and translate it to something new that visually looks different. I've had that before too. If you're really feeling like, oh my God, I don't think I can do this, put it away for a little bit and then come back to it later. It just might not be the right time, but if you really felt impressed to buy a particular deck, you know, it's there for a reason. So don't give up on it. Sometimes it's just about the timing. Oops, man, these cards, you can tell how new they are. They're just sliding all over the place. All right, see, this one's interesting. This one ends with the pentacles where the other one did not do that. Oh, this card's so beautiful. Love that. Okay. All right, so that's it with all of those. I hope that was helpful for you guys to see everything that goes into there. And if you are interested, I think this is a really cool deck. I'll maybe try to do a review on it later on once I've worked with it a little bit and tell you guys how easy or difficult it is to use, and if I have any tips or suggestions or comments. So I hope that was good. Hope you guys are having a good day, and I will talk to you later.